make a little change. I want to deal with something that we have not talked today. I never received any mail from you. Where did you send it? Yahoo.com?
No, I showed to your colleague.
Never.
He checked from my...
Do you have it?
In next break we will make, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
And want to concentrate in a little of things about Endgames.
Dakle, danas ćemo malo se koncentrirati na završnice. Neće ići baš sve po onom striktnom programu.
Because it's a part where a lot of people doesn't understand a lot of things.
To je jedan dio šaške partije koje mnogo ljudi ne razume, baš...
But you see, modern chess relies a lot on the game nowadays.
Ali moderni šah je mnogo zavisi od završnica.
It's difficult to get something in the opening. Everybody is more or less somehow prepared.
Jer vrlo je teško danas postići prednost, odlučujuću prednost u otvaranjima, jer su svi više manje dobro pripremljeni.
Okay, middle game, anything can happen, but generally knowledge is quite high nowadays. They know a lot of things how to handle.
Isto u središnici, može se svašta desiti, neki mati to, ali i to su ljudi dosta naučili.
But that game is the phase where the better player usually prevails.
Ali završnica je dio gdje bolji igrač obično pokaže svoju snagu.
Better player is the one who has more knowledge, can play more easy.
Bolji igrač, za boljeg igrača smatramo ono koji ima više znanja, koji može lakše igrati.
And that game is also taught by motives, by ideas, by some certain position you have to know.
I završnice učimo preko motiva, preko nekih pozicija i pre svega preko onih teoretskih pozicija koje jednostavno moramo znati. To zavisi od završnice do završnice.
Table base help us nowadays to find a lot of things, especially when we have 6 pieces on in the board. You know table bases?
Table baze, to je onaj kompjuterski program, tamo nam pokažu sve završnice do kraja u pozicijama sa 6 figura, do 6 figura.
Do you know table base? You use table bases?
Da, da use.
You can find for free everywhere in the internet. There are many sites who gives for free. You put the pieces and you can have exactly what happens in each position. But you have to use because it's very helpful until 6 pieces.
Dakle, to je vrlo značajno koristiti tu bazu završnica do 6 figura, jer sve je pokazano apsolutno do kraja. Svaka završnica kako se odigra do kraja.
Okay,
svaka ima svoju konačnu ocjenu.
History in a game, we don't know exactly when it started, the real history, because before there were guys like Maigelis, Seron, who made extremely good work.
Dakle, o čistoj istoriji završnice teško govorimo. Bilo je nekoliko ljudi, Maigelis i Seron, to su dva velika i kompozitora istorije.
Of course, other people as well, but...
ali oni su napravili ogromni posao na nekim područjima završnice.
But serious chess game investment were start to made around 1940s, 1950s.
Ali ozbiljan pomak znanje završnicama je dobilo 1940. 50. u tim godinama.
Not everything was very clear in the beginning.
Na početku naravno nije sve bilo vrlo jasno.
For example, I can show you a position, let's say a famous position, something like this.
I sada da pogledamo jednu vrlo poznatu poziciju, gdje ćemo vidjeti taj razvoj kako je bilo nejasno na početku.
Main question is where this king should stay.
Glavno je pitanje naravno kako sa crnima se braniti, kuda postaviti kralja.
In the far corner, A1.
This one?
Yes.
How you know this?
I read it.
Not from Keres' book in 1950.
No,
Because Keres books say king must stay here and here.
Vidite, u slavnoj Keresovoj knjizi iz 1950. prvi put objavljeno, Keres je učio da treba kralje postaviti na A5 ili A4.
But this is losing.
Što gubi,
So the only solution, the king to be here or here to make a draw.
na srpsko-hrvatskom jeziku je danas knjiga, tako da mnogi vjerovatno uče iz nje, ali sad je pravilo sasvim jasno, iz ovog tegu beza znamo da kralj mora stajati na A2 ili A1. Za remi, sve ostalo gubi.
Of course, we don't accuse Keres, Paul Keres.
Naravno, ne možemo optužiti sad Keresa zbog toga.
He made the best with what he had in his hands.
On je napravio, objavio najbolje što je imao u rukama, što je znao.
It's fantastic books for the area of 1950s.
I to
Very
je
nice books.
fantastična knjiga za te godine, 1950.
But they contain a lot of critical mistakes as this, because this was the knowledge of the time.
Ali knjiga sadrži mnoge kritične greške, ali naravno, to je bilo znanje tih godina i ne možemo
So,
tvrditi.
although Paul Keres was an excellent player and an excellent writer, it would be criminal teach from his Endgame books.
Dakle, mi možemo Keresa smatrati za super igrača, super pisca, ali učiti završnice iz njegovih knjiga ne smije.
Because they contain mistakes that today we have corrected.
Jer ima mnogo grešaka koje danas možemo lako ispraviti.
For nothing else. For historical value, it is a very nice thing. Maybe 60% or 65% are correct.
Dakle, historijsko značajne knjige je veliko, 60%, 65% pozicija ocena je ok, ali ostalo je vreme ispravilo i kompjuter.
The problem is nowadays, books that they were written before 2003, they are not considered to be, to have the best of value, theoretical value.
Dakle, za sve knjige koje su štampane prije 2003. godina, ne možemo ih smatrati za točne, njihova rješenja, da imaju najbolja teoretska rješenja, jer sad ove nove kompjuterske baze su donijela nove odgovore.
This is of course because the computer at that time became really strong and the table base were created and things were more checked and more corrected the various mistakes.
Dakle, u zadnjim godinama mnogo je stvari ispravljeno na tom području s kompjuterima.
But be careful, I speak only about variations.
Ali pažljivo on govori samo o varijantama.
You can never replace the word of Brostein's of Zurich 1953 book.
Nikad ne možemo kritizirati knjigu Davida Bronštana koju ćete
But you
naći.
can easily replace most of the variations.
Kandidatski turnir 53, to je odgovor. Ali možete mnoge varijante naravno zamijeniti, ali njegove reči ostaju.
So you have to know what to take from each book. It's very important, what to take and what to throw.
Dakle, za trenera je vrlo važno da zna šta za učenika, studenta, šta uzeti od knjige, šta vredi, a šta ne vredi. Treba prepoznati istinito znanje.
Just for example, to have an understanding. In 1950s,
Imat ćemo naredni primjer sad, u 50. godinama.
there was a great player called Ruben Fine,
Živio je veliki igrač, Ruben Fine.
American Grandmaster, was supposed to be at that time among the 3-4 best in the world.
Tada su ga smatrali za jednog od najboljih igrača na svijetu.
And okay, the guy didn't really play so much as he was. He's still famous in the United States as a great psychologist.
On nije ni mnogo igrao šah jer je veliki psiholog, psihijatar u Americi poznat po tome, više nego šahista.
But he was the first to try to write a guide about Endgames.
Ali on je bio prvi čovjek koji je pokušavao nekako sistematizirati znanje o završnicama i napisao nečuvene knjige, to vjerovatno svi znate.
So he wrote a very nice book, especially for this time.
I napisao je te super stvari za to vreme.
Which is very well known, and you can find mostly the new version now, the reprint.
Koje možemo i danas naći, nova izdanja.
Which reprint was made by the help of Paul Bengo, nowadays the oldest grandmaster in the world.
Njemu je mnogo pomagao. Koji je oldest?
think it's Paul Benko, not Overwell. It's a bit, yes.
But okay.
But we can check, maybe the same age.
Okay.
They're so old.
Paul Benke mu je ogromno pomagao Rubenu Fajnu, mada nije bio potpisan u te knjige.
The only problem with Benko, because he's an old man, he doesn't have many things with computers, he didn't really correct the main mistakes. He only adds some things, but the book still suffers.
Knjige još postoje, Benko ih još malo obrađuje. Molim?
Averbach je stari.
Averbach, da. Averbach is older, okay. I know because Grigoric, it was a dream of Grigoric to become the oldest grandmaster and he was second.
He had to wait a little bit, die the other.
Grigoric je bio drugi najstariji velemajstor u svom vremenu i kad je umro, on je često govorio o tome da sad ću biti najstariji, a ovaj nije htio da umre, on je baš zato imam ja isto u glavi da je ok, nije važno. I ovaj Benke nije, sad još koriguje te knjige, ali on se mnogo ne snalazi s kompjuterima, pa sve greške nije ispravio. Zato kad nađete to novo izdanje, opet još ima mnogo grešaka, kao u Fajnovo vremenu.
So, okay, this book is a start. Of course, nowadays there are a lot of books about the game in the market. Good books, they try to help you how to think, how to act, basic things, everything.
Dakle, danas možemo na tržištu naći mnoge dobre knjige sa onim generalnim nekim savjetima o završnicama, koje god uzmemo, to je, svaka će nam dati dobra polazišta, bazična znanja.
But there are some, of course, things, not only how to play concrete variation, but how to think in a game. It's quite important.
Ali ima i nekoliko stvari koje možda nisu svugdje napisane. Ne samo kako igrati, koji su načini, ali već više kako razmišljati u završnicama.
Here you see, for example, 20 rules that are very important and still are valid for today.
I ovdje nađemo 20 nekih pravila koja su vrlo važna i koja i dan danas važe.
You can talk with your students one by one, use some examples, you can create lessons on this, what you want. Very important stuff.
Dakle, to su neka pravila koja važe, dakle možete kod svog učenja jedno po jedno obrađivati, jedno za drugim, imati neke primjere na temu i svaki čas ako posvetite jednom, učenici će mnogo odnijeti od toga.
You see, we need specific theory in a game, this is for sure. There are positions where we must know exactly what to do.
Dakle, treba nam svakako specifično znanje o završnicama, koje jednostavno moramo znati. Ima mnogo takvih završnica koje ne možemo uopšteno odigrati, otprilike, već moramo tačno znati to su pravi potezi.
For example, you see number 14.
Kao broj 14.
This is one of the Capablanca theorems. They call it the Capablanca theorem.
To je slavna Capablancina izjava, pažljivo na ispitu ćete naći.
Yesterday we saw the Capablanca knight, if you remember, the knight on d6.
Jučer smo vidjeli Capablankinog konja na d6.
But Capablanca also gave two nice theorems in the endgame.
A Capablanca je isto dva slavna teorema u...
The first one is do not place your pawn on the color of your bishop.
Prvo pravilo, nemoj postavljati pješake na polje.
Who knows the second?
Ko zna drugo?
Pješake na polja.
Svoje pješake na boju svog lovca.
Nemoj postavljati pješake na boju svog lovca.
Da ih ne bi jeo.
Da ih ne bi sam sebi pojao.
So, anybody knows the second?
Drugo pravilo.
Queen and knight are better than queen and bishop.
Dama i konj su jači od dame i lovca.
Why?
Zašto?
Zašto is the most important thing.
Možda zato što skakač može na oboje dvoja polja doći, a lovac samo na jedno.
I napadački postavljeno. Šta je kraj?
Have many
A se poslije to slično.
because knight controls both colors.
All squares.
All squares, yes.
So they can cooperate to all squares,
All squares.
but bishop only half squares.
A lovac samo na pola polja, da.
is the main thing. Okay, maybe in practice it is less than 55-45.
Da, u praksi je možda manje
It's not
od
something
55%,
very great,
45,
but
ali
it's something.
u principu to često važi.
It's something. If it was so strong, then it will be completely rule, everybody would avoid. But one of the main things we have to talk is how to think in the game.
Ali jedno od glavnih pitanja je, naravno, kako misliti u završnicama.
Psachis told that to learn and to play at games, well, the chess player must love at games.
Lav Psachis, čuveni velomajstor, rekao je da ako želimo da igramo i učimo završnice, ako želimo da učimo i da igramo završnice dobro,
Actually,
da ih volimo.
good news is that Mr. Psachis is back. He was about to die, you know.
Dobra je vijest da je Psachis se vratio šahu sad, u šahovskom životu nekako, bio je na samrti.
He made the transplantation of liver.
Napravio je transplantaciju bubrega, da.
I saw him last month. He's recovering, and I think he will
Prošli
come
mjesec
back.
je već
Because he's
sredili su se i on je na
a great figure in world chess.
vrlo velika ličnost modernog šaha.
So, when we go to the games, we have some specific characteristics. We have rules, okay? We must know typical positions.
Kad dođemo do završnice, to smo već rekli, imamo tipične pozicije koje moramo znati, imamo neka pravila koje pokušavamo slediti.
But if we want to be really correct, we must start to call it at game thinking, a different concept.
Ali ako želimo biti stvarno dobri, moramo se naučiti pravilno malo drugačijeg razmišljanja o završnicama.
This game, usually we can divide it in two categories,
Završnice delimo obično u dve kategorije.
in tactical and strategical category.
Taktične završnice i strateške završnice.
But tactical, complex games must be treated as middle game.
Ali taktične kompleksne završnice više tretiramo kao središnicu.
What do we mean? We need calculation.
Zbog toga nam treba računanje varijanata, to je pojam i središnice više.
But the other one, the strategical games,
Ali strateške završnice
even computers have problem to find best move, of course you have to understand.
i kompjuter se sa njima muči i teško razume neke.
They don't rely on calculation.
Jer one ne zavise od računanja.
From Capablanca time we know that in strategical positional games we have to think by plans, schemes.
Od Capablankinih vremena mi već znamo da u strateškim završnicama moramo razmišljati sa planom, po šemama nekim.
We have to understand where to put the pieces, what is your idea, where we want to go.
Moramo razumjeti kuda postaviti figure, sa kakvom idejom i gdje hoćemo da odemo.
If we don't know where we start and where we go, whatever we calculate, forget it. We will not do anything.
Ako ne znamo, ako nemamo plan, ako nemamo tačnu ideju, zaboravite, ništa nećemo napraviti.
So I want to show you an example and
Sad idemo na neki praktični primjer.
ask you something. Okay, here we have, or we can call it simple or very difficult game.
Ovo možemo nazvati jednostavno ili vrlo teško završiti.
Simple if we know, very difficult if we don't know.
Jednostavno ako znamo kako igrati, vrlo teško ako ne znamo.
It's one of the positions I'm saying that it doesn't matter how much time you have in your clock, because okay, you don't have so much.
Obično u završnicama nemamo previše vremena i možda nekih i nije važno koliko imamo ako znamo.
If you know it, you win it easily. If you don't know it, maybe you win it, but only by luck.
Jer ako znamo završnicu, dobit ćemo je lako, bez obzira na vreme. Ako ne znamo, nikako vreme nam neće pomoći.
Of course, the first question it is if it is winning.
Prvo je pitanje, naravno, da li je ovo dobiveno.
And in such cases, you have to understand that you don't have the luxury to try to find. Time is pressing.
I u najviše slučajeva mi ne možemo si dozvoliti luksus da pokušavamo, jer vreme nas pritišće i jednostavno ko zna, zna.
Usually at this point of the game, you will play like the 30 seconds.
Obično u toj fazi igre već igramo na 30 sekundi onih dodataka.
So, the main question I will make you, what do you think? It's winning or not? And second, okay, let's make second question after.
Dakle, počinjemo sa prvim pitanjem, šta mislite, da li je ovo dobiveno ili nije?
What do you think?
Ako znamo igrati, jeste.
Ko je za dobiveno? Svi. Winning.
Winning.
I ask for winning and...
But who winning, white or black?
White is winning.
Teško igrate, posebno vi.
Okay, with white is playing John Spillman,
Bijelima igra John Spillman, engleski velemajstor,
who told very good player, as you know,
vrlo dobar igrač.
and he told he entered this game because he thought it was draw.
I on je namjerno ušao u završnicu i mislio da je remi. Bio uveren da je remi.
With black is playing Kasparov.
Crni Mađari.
He said that he entered this game because this position because it's winning.
I on je namjerno ušao u poziciju jer je znao da je dobivena.
You see, two top players at that moment have completely different opinion.
Dva top igrača u to vrijeme imaju diametralno suprotno mišljenje.
Of course, after this, Spillman decided that he must learn something, so he wrote an endgame book.
Poslije ove partije Spillman je shvatio da mora nešto još naučiti, pa je i napisao knjigu o završnicama poslije. Počeo da istražuje i izgleda ozbiljno.
Difficult, huh? Because winning is something, but the question is how.
Da. Dobivanje partije je nešto, pitanje je kako.
Okay, in order to understand the position I ask, we have to know this position.
Ako želimo da odgovorimo na prvo pitanje, moramo da poznajemo odgovor na ovo pitanje.
This is a theoretically drawn position.
To je teoretska remi pozicija.
Because the rules of economy, it's full power.
Zato jer su pravila ekonomije ovdje u pune snazi.
Maybe I'm not talking chess languages, but a rule of economy and other things like that has a lot to do with chess.
Možda ne govori u terminologiji šahovska, ali ekonomska pravila imaju mnogo zajedničkog sa šahom.
White has created a fortress.
Bel je izgradio neku tvrđavu
Black cannot enter the fortress. There is no door.
u kojoj crni ne može ući, nema otvorenih vrata.
The king, the white king, controls two important squares.
Beli kralj kontrolira dva važna polja.
The bishop controls another important squares.
Lovac kontroliše dva naredna polja, F3
And the pawn controls the other two squares. So
i pješak kontroliše F4 H.
every white piece, it makes an excellent job.
I svaka bijela figura radi svoj super posao.
All together, they create a fortress, cooperation.
Sve skupa sarađuju za tvrđavu.
You destroy any of the piece, you allow, for example, the black king to enter here or here, black wins. To enter here or here, black wins. To move the pawn, black wins.
Ako bijeli samo popusti samo sa jednom figurom, gubi partiju. Ako pusti kralja na F1, F2 ili gdje god, ako makne lovca sa te dijagonale, ako pomeri pješaka, gubi u svim slučajevima. Samo kontrolom tih polja, to je rem.
So this is one of the positions where the exchange is not useful.
Dakle, ovo je jedna od pozicija gdje kvalitet prednosti uopšte nema nikakvog značaja.
Your students, such positions must know.
I vaši studenti takve pozicije naravno moraju poznavati.
what we feel that this is basic to chess is such positions, not position 1 pound to 1 pound. This is, of course he must know from first year. But this position they must immediately start to know because they have to understand how to make maximum or to save half point.
I osim onih početnih bazičnih znanja koje se podrazumeva da moraju znati pješačke završnice i to, odmah moraju upoznavati i takve pozicije vaši učenici, jer moraju shvatiti kako izvući najviše iz pozicija.
So we saw this basic position, but what about this position?
Kad se vraćamo i kakve to ima veze?
In order to understand the way, we must try to find the critical square.
Ako želimo da razumemo put,
Da
moramo
smijemo doći do te pozicije.
shvatimo da polja.
Each position, the solution is made by something we call the critical square, which is the most important square, which will give us the solution.
U svakoj poziciji moramo prepoznati kritična polja koja nas vode do rješenja.
I'm using to teach my students like that to learn the critical square, so they will not forget it in the game. It's sure. It's subconscious.
Dakle, on uči učenike da razmišljaju uvek u terminologiji kritičnih polja, jer onda neće nikad zaboraviti na njih.
Okay, you have 12 tries. 12 tries to find critical square. It's fair. We'll give them 12 tries, they can tell me.
Ok, tražite.
What?
What?
Tell them they have 12 tries.
12 tries. Imate 12 pokušaja da nađete kritična polja.
In one of my seminars they found in 54.
Dakle, na jednom seminaru u 54. pokušaju.
Be careful.
Dakle, pažljivo.
F2, no.
F2 kritična polja, ne.
F4.
F4, no. D1, no. No. And the present there, because we said this is the present there. No. Come on, don't be afraid.
Just talk.
Just tell me the mistake.
G7.
Who? G7. Why?
Or because Fincats of Rook.
This is the correct.
G7.
Bravo. I'm impressed.
Kritična polja.
You know the way.
I movie maker, no.
You know the way, do we? Yeah. So if you know, you find. The secret in this position is this.
Stavite topa na G7 i to je dobiveno.
Why?
Naravno, zašto?
This is the most important. You remember the previous position. What we should avoid to stay with this and this only, because this is draw.
Znamo da je, ako ostanu gdje pišaci nemi,
But we must make some exchanges.
dakle moramo nešto promijeniti, zamijeniti ako hoćemo dobiti tučku poziciju.
So, the plan. Plan is
Dakle,
important.
plan.
Moves are not important. You can play if you like 10 times like this and you still win.
Dakle, potezi nisu važni, važan je plan. Možemo ponavljati do beskraja.
So, first plan, bring king to E1.
Dakle, prvi plan doći kraljem na E1.
Then you must force him to play A4.
Prisilimo ga da
Because
igra
the rook
F4.
will come somewhere here and attack.
Dakle, možemo napasti kralj jedan i topom sa drugog reda.
Okay, then you prepare the advanced G5. You put your king to E3,
Posle pripremimo potez G5.
your rook to G7, and you play H6, F6, G5.
I posle odigramo topa na G7, F6, G6 i...
In the end, you take with the rook on G5.
I na kraju krajeva, kad se sve uzme na G5, uzmemo topom na G5 i dobivamo partiju.
Kasparov said that this I learned when I was 8 years.
Kasparov je rekao da je to naučio već sa 8 godina.
I was playing kindergarten. This is normal, this is Soviet school.
U vrtiću u sovjetskoj školi već je to naučio odmah.
How do you think all these guys became good? Because they born or they give them some drugs?
Ja mislite kako su veliki igrači postali?
What do you think they became stronger than the others?
Naravno sa velikim.
Good trainers, correct work,
Dobri
learn,
treneri, pravilni rad, mnogo rada,
quality, what I told you, quality.
kvalitetan rad.
You cannot show every day, we learn about Philidor position. Okay, Philidor position on lesson, finished. You learn it, you don't learn it. You go other camp, this was Soviet Union.
Dakle,
Single
da
stuff.
naučimo nešto novo, nikad ne ponavljamo previše.
We don't have time, you have to learn.
Nemamo vremena za ponavljanje beskrajno.
This is simple, they're more complicated. This, in understanding, is simple, no variation. I have to play this to make this. Oh. Simple.
Dakle,
Make
shvatanje
it.
je najvažnije.
You can make it, huh? You know now the plan, you can make it, you don't need variation. You cannot teach this with variations. It's wrong.
Dakle, ovu poziciju, na primjer, ne možemo učiti sa varijantama, pošto je to pogrešno, već samo preko planova.
You have to tell the way. What is the plan and how we go. This is how they understand. So now it's easy. First I go with the king.
Sada je sve lako, prvo kraljem.
No problem, I mean I can make any fun you like.
Da tu uopšte nije važnih.
You see, he keeps it like this. The king goes.
Kraljem, sada napada na F2.
Okay, he will force sooner or later because rook b7 will come and rook b2.
Sedmi top B2 je...
Black is threatening rook b7. You move the bishop, rook b2, and you cannot take because of check.
Da, to kroz dva prijeti. Dakle,
So you lose another pawn.
mora F4 predigrati.
So he's forced to go f4. King goes to
Sad se
e3,
kralj
nice
malo
square.
vraća. Sad F6
And Masin, Kasparov played this blitz.
Skoro je igrao blitz, kaže,
g5.
uze.
And be careful now. If you play like this, automatic it is draw.
I F5 je odmah.
Automatic.
A top G5 predaje.
But the idea is to play like this because now, because you are threatening f5, f4, you destroy the fortress.
I sad smo razbili tvrđavu, jer pred F4 nema odbrane.
He's forced to play something like this.
Kralj C6, kralj H3 i kralj 2.
Over. World FIDE Championship for Rapid was made the last 2 years in Kadimasis.
Zadnje 2 godine prvenstvo u brzanom šahu je bilo u Kantinasisku.
And very critical game.
U nekom kritičnom trenutku sastali su se, vidimo,
We had Grichuk against Carlsen.
Grišću-Carlsen partiju.
Grichuk won the championship for half a point in front, ahead of Carlsen.
Grišćuk je pobedio prvenstvo sveta za pola pojena ispred Carlsena.
So this is the position of the second game, the most critical of the tournament.
To je pozicija najkritičnije partije. Između njih dvoje, naravno.
Grichuk said the same like Kasparov.
Grišću kaže isto kao Kasparov.
I learned this when I was 8.
Naučio sam to sa 8 godina.
And Grichuk immediately played b3,
Odmah je odigrao B3.
rook e2,
Jedan to, top B2 i...
flip it.
I samo sve ponavljaju.
There is one technique they know like hell, all of them.
Jedna tehnika koja je odmah dobila partiju.
They don't think,
Uopšte nije trebalo.
they don't need time. 10 seconds are enough,
To je jednostavno znanje, vidite, tu je klasika.
even less. Immediately they play like this, like Masim, they know.
Odmah odigra tako i dobije partiju.
And Carlsen resigned.
Carlsen predaje.
It's pop, 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 finito. You have no chance. I will not make mistake. Because I don't think I'm Masim.
Dakle, moramo naučiti ljude da znaju.
Maybe you don't like it, maybe you think chess is fantasy. I'm sorry. In such position, known position, chess is not fantasy. It's repeating motives.
U takvim poznatim pozicijama, u završnicama, recimo šah nema veze sa fantazijom, to je sve